أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على خير المرسلين محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين أما بعد أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وسلم. I greet you again today's Jumah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh. We say Alhamdulillah الذي خلق الإنسان من أحسن التقويم وبعث نبيين مبشرين ومنذرين وأنزل معهم الكتاب بالحق. Translation: the praise, all of it. No praise is due to man, woman, boy, or girl. If any of us get praise from anyone, quickly we say, Alhamdulillah. You see? This is highly important. Even though it's like protocol when you see an imam or sheikh or whoever, male or female sheikh, giving a lecture or something, and usually you hear them go through this real quick, Alhamdulillah, that kind of thing, but not enough focus in most cases is put on actually what is being said by this person. What is this person saying? The praise is for God, for Allah. I could end the khutbah and we pray right there. Khalas. Excellent khutbah, Imam. Alhamdulillah الذي خلق الإنسان من في أحسن تقويم. This is how we were created. There's many ways that the shuyukh open the khutbah and give the lectures, etc. This is one of the ways in which Rasulullah ﷺ used to use before he even said anything about himself as a messenger or, things about the community. You know what I'm saying? That he couldn't say anything about anything until he gave praise to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this is one of the big mistakes. And the first thing I'm going to say, because of the environment, one of the biggest mistakes of politicians. They don't give praise to God. They don't give praise to God. Look at me, look at me. I can do that. I know I'm qualified for this. I'm qualified for that. I can handle this job because of this. Number one. Number two, I did this. Number three, I did this. Number four. What is it? Who gave you your life, mister? Or Miss Lady? No one said anything about, I thank God for this opportunity. But that's another trick of the shaitan, the devil. He don't want you to mention God, because automatically the corrupt politician is defeated. If Allah is used as a basis. I won't say too much about that, but you know where I'm going with this, right? You understand the environment and what's going on in Washington, D.C. and stuff, and across the country and all of that stuff. People not calling on God. They're calling on themselves and their qualifications. All of those skills that Allah blessed them to come into in life belong to God. All of these talents, all of these things that people are able to do, all of us who have skills and talents and ability, they come from you or me. You a great mechanic? Automobile man? God gave you that talent. Architect, doctor, lawyer, teacher, educator, imam, whatever, engineer, lawyer. Allah gave you that. Allah gave you that. Stop letting your head swell up like Humpty Dumpty. Some of you brothers and sisters don't know this story, especially some of you who travel from different countries. It's a weird story in Western tradition, history. I don't know what they want to call it now. They'll call it anything. But it's a story about a man, something that had a big head. His head was so big, his head was big, representing his ego. His head so big he couldn't walk straight. He's just walking, trying to hold his head straight. That's the condition of the political world right now. Most of it is wobbling in its orbit, in its weight, in its pace. To move forward, how you going to move forward if your legs are not stable? Imam, I have to warn you. This is what people would say. You're mixing politics with religion. Was Prophet Muhammad a political man? Was Prophet Muhammad at the same time religiously oriented? His politics were dominated by revelation. And that's all I have to say about that. What I'm saying again, on another note, brothers and sisters, believers, is just like we check our oil in our cars, your oil, if it goes low, even if you have a full tank of gas and you run your car just with no oil, you already know what's going to happen to your car, right? So I'm using this as a metaphor example or something like that. We can have all the Islamic knowledge in the world. I mean, you know that's not going to happen. But if there is no commitment, a lot of people thought I was going to say faith. See, they thought they knew this khutbah. You don't know this khutbah. Stop trying to figure it. Don't do that. Don't do that. No. Today, I'm talking about commitment to this life, how to live it. Like, I want to live this life. I love to live it. I love to live this life. That's the way our prophet, peace be upon him, lived his life, with commitment to the lifestyle. So commitment should not just be on the level of knowledge that your imam or your favorite sheikh lifted you to the last time you heard him give a lecture. No. The commitment is for you to go beyond where you are in your intellectual endeavors. Your knowledge of the religion. My knowledge of religion. I'm not talking to you like I'm talking to myself at the same time. My own intellectual accomplishments, my own intellectual graduations, as far as my faith in Allah, Hubbullah wa Hubbu Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I love Allah more today. I love Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam more today. I thank Allah more today to be a Muslim. And not just to be a Muslim, but to be actually believe and be committed to this life. As we said on last week, and I'm referring to that to go forward, inshallah. أَفَلَا يَتَدَبَّرُونَ الْقُرْآنَ وَلَوْ كَانَ مِنْ عِنْدِ غَيْرِ اللَّهِ لَوَجَّدُوا فِيهِ اخْتِلَافًا كَثِيرًا. Will they not be trying to understand, thinking, pondering, considering the Quran before you go and make a decision? Before you go and make a decision, are you not pondering what God gave to Muhammad the lifestyle that I claim, you claim, and I'm Muslim, and I Hubbullah, and I Hubbu Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Really? For real? But I gotta do this. Haqq. You heard it. I knew all of that, but I gotta do this. Haqq. You know, this is something that I learned in America, how to get ahead, you know what I'm saying? Because if you don't do it this way, Haqq. I haven't seen that in the Quran. Haqq. Do it this way if you live in America. No, they didn't say that in the Quran. The Quran is bayan, is clear. هذا بيان. Allah says, Ar-Rahman علم القرآن خلق الإنسان علمه البيان. The merciful Lord, Ar-Rahman علم القرآن. He taught the Quran, then the man was made. So the real person came after Adam alayhi salam, even though Adam alayhi salam was the original man. Now, you want to look for the original man? Allahu Akbar. The original man is Adam alayhi salam. That's the original man. And you see, the way they did us, they didn't do us right. They mentioned Asiatic in those lessons back in the day. I'll tell you about it later. We have coffee or tea or something. The Asian, they said, this is what they told us when some of us first became Muslims. The Asiatic black man, that's the original man. Who told them that? Does it say anything in the Quran about Adam alayhi salam being Asian? Asiatic? You should study that history. It's cold-blooded, man. There's a lot we can say about that, but I won't say it. But Adam is first. So if we look at the world and see how these people have set up traps for our intelligence. They set traps for our intelligence. So our intelligence is by nature geared to go toward ilm, knowledge. Our intelligence, wherever there's knowledge, our intelligence will, there it is. Like the fish going after the false lure. And they snatch it a little bit and it comes, and it looks real. That's the same way it is with false knowledge. The lure of false knowledge will trap your mind on the hook of false living and false lifestyles. You understand what I'm saying? But look, we have to do better than this. I'm talking about all of us. I'm your brother. Before I'm an imam, I'm just a brother, man. You understand what I'm saying? So Allah says, أَفَلَا يَتَدَبَّرُونَ. So this word يَتَدَبَّرُونَ, third person plural masculine, which includes the feminine gender in the group, in the Jumah. يَتَدَبَّرُونَ. And the action should be going on now, meaning pondering the Quran, and it should be going on in the future. This was given to Prophet Muhammad 1440 years ago. But the rule still applies. The rule for the action still applies. يَتَدَبَّرُونَ. Be pondering. Be investigating. Be looking at. Be thinking about Al-Quran. And I'm telling you, I have to tell you, and I'm telling myself at the same time, Hatem, Brother Hatem, or whatever, dude, or whatever you want to call me, you should be sharper than you are now, intellectually. You should be further along in deen, intellectually, and progressively as a person, as a man. So that's all of us. We could do better. So if I ask you directly, could you do better today and tomorrow? Yes, I know I can do better. Because there are so many distractions. Those distractions slow us down because we allow those distractions to slow us down. And some of us love distractions. Yeah, I do that. I take the time to do that. It's all right. No. The Rasulullah Sallallahu a progressive leader. I'm not going to say was a progressive leader. A progressive leader. A leader for change. And as you know, I'll stop there and pause and ask Allah, oh Allah, accept this first khutbah in this Jumah, inshallah. Oh Allah, accept the niyyah of all of those who are participating in this Jumah, inshallah. Oh Allah, protect all of us and our families in this day and in this time that we're living in now, inshallah. Ameen. والصلاة والسلام على سيد المرسلين محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. أما بعد أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وسلم. And also referring again to the earlier references in the Surah 13 of the Quran, in this section that talks about إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يُغَيِّرُ مَا بِقَوْمٍ حَتَّى يُغَيِّرُوا مَا بِأَنفُسِهِمْ. Certainly, Allah does not change the condition of a people unless they change their own inner souls. So when is the last time you went there? When is the last time you traveled there? To journey not outside of yourself, but journey inside of your own nafs. Go there. Trek there. And if there's something wrong with my behavior as a Muslim, I should weigh my behavior with the behavior of Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And there I will find the growth pattern or the direction that I should be taking myself in. Because I've understood now that I should put my own soul under the microscopic observation of my own consciousness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And when I find that there's something wrong with me, as far as lining up with the deen, with the Quran, the Sunnah of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, then I should be able to take myself and put myself online and in line with that Sunnah. Man, this is some powerful stuff, man. Come on now. This stuff is heavy. This don't come from me. This is Quran and Sunnah. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when He introduced the fact that He was going to create, and you've heard this 100 gazillion times, I know. But I wanted to point out one word, or a couple of words, that was used so that we can really make some connections in regards to where we are, or where we should be, or where we should be going. You've heard of these terms. And I'll just explain it. Where the Prophet, Allah gave to the Prophet وَلَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ مِنْ صَلْصَالٍ مِنْ حَمَاءٍ مَسْنُونٍ. You know this by heart. Many of you say, Imam, I know that. But we go back and we read the Quran over and over, don't we? Imam, I know that. That's what they say. I know that, Imam. Okay. That's good. That's good. But go back and reflect on it. So, and Allah says, and most certainly we have created, the translator says, man. That's incorrect. Insan basically means perceptive humans, male and female. You hear that? لَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ. Certainly we have created perceptive humans. Anasa. Min salsalin min hama'in masnoon. And this Quran, you could go on. It's just like a person, you have a big ball of thread. And when you go into the Quran, you're reading the Quran, the more you look at the ayat, the more knowledge you could pull from the ayat. Oh my God, I didn't know that was there. Oh, look at that. Oh, wow, this is, alhamdulillah. This is the nature of the Quran. You will never be able to exhaust the wisdom of God, of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah tells us that in the Quran, right? So here Allah said, وَلَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ مِنْ صَلْصَالٍ. Salsal. Sounding. Clay. Min hama'in. Hama'in, they translate it here as dark clay. And others translate it as using something that we won't use today because it might cause a tribal feud. So, subhanAllah, I love this religion, brothers and sisters. I love this religion so much because it dignifies us in this world. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, before Allah gave Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu the Quran, many of the people of the world who thought themselves civilized, in which they really weren't, revelation had come to another community before. And I don't have to mention their name. It came to this community, it came to other community. Well, those communities, some people from among them, they looked at the Arabs as just being nomads, and many of them were. This is how they looked at the Arabs. Say, these are people that just roam around in the desert with buggies. That was their perception of them. But when Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam received revelation, he began to stabilize community life. People began to gather for God, for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We have work to do. That's all I'm saying to us, brothers. Now, the way that they looked at the Arabs was, they were nobody. They just going to live and live and love and trade and a little bit and have sex and have some children and die. That's the life they perceive of the Arabs. I'm just telling you from the history. And you know this probably better than I do. But when Prophet Muhammad sallallahu received the Quran, these people who they said was at the lowest part of the totem pole, they began to clean up themselves, stabilize their lives, respect Allah, respect the man that Allah had blessed to receive revelation. And the report goes that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam the blueprint for community, model community life. So he went back down the mountain and said, I gotta, just like the baby clots in the abdomen of mama, I have to put together my community to clot. Those clots, blood clots, those human beings, you understand what I'm saying, don't you? Those human beings have to come together. They're living a chaotic life. They got to clot. Brothers, now I'm talking about, now I just mentioned the Arabs. Now I want you to see this parallel. The parallel is that they did the African American the same way, man. The same way with the continent of Africa in most cases. Even though they were clotting as communities, they were not clotting together, structured under the kalam of Allah. And it is the words of Allah that causes people to structure correctly, come together correctly according to the blueprint of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this word hama'in means heat, hot clay, warm clay, passionate clay. You understand what I'm saying? That's what a human being is. He's passionate clay. You understand what I'm saying? All human beings are passionate clay. And the passion will overrule their mind if they don't have something to put on their mind that controls the passions. Is this making sense what I'm saying? Revelation put on the intellect and on the heart of Prophet Muhammad, on the heart and the intellect, caused him to be able to call to those passions in the people to get them to put a bridle on their passions and start steering them in the direction of ummatul wahid, one community under Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, does anyone else have that language in their national statements? One nation under God? You think that was the first time somebody said that? These people have been studying history, man. And they were looking to see what part of history worked, was successful. No, these people here, this is 1440 years ago, they said one nation under God. And it unified them. They were powerful people. Well, let's use that. One nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for who? For who? For all? Somebody is not following the Sunnah. Based upon what's going on the borders of Texas, based upon what has been happening in this country over the years. So I'm going to make this statement. I have to mention this. Hama and Masnoon. So this word Masnoon is talking about an innate character in the flesh. But it's not to be taken as flesh only, because this flesh, this body, I hope you're listening, is not just a body. It's a house for a mind. This body is a house for a mind. This body is a house for a heart, an intelligence. This body is a house for an intelligence, even though you cannot see intelligence. How does intelligence look? You can't see it. But it is more powerful than the flesh. You can't see spirit either, can you? But it's more powerful than the flesh. You know what? You can't see God either, can you? But the spirit and the aql, the intelligence, is directed by He who is bil-ghayb, invisible, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. See, people are looking at the world the wrong way. Oh, how do I look this morning? Oh, I'm cute, I'm handsome, I'm cute, and oh man, people start getting old, start getting those gray hairs, you know. Oh my God. No, it don't work like that. That's not the way it works. If you're conscious, I want you to pay close attention to this. I'm in love with this deen. The older you become, the more beautiful you should be as a human being. I'm not talking about as a model being. I'm not talking about the model in the window. I'm not talking about that being. We're looking at the world, we got it twisted. And that's the reason why, and they do it in different parts of the world. They used to do it in the African American community. They used to respect their elders. And some of us still do. But you know why they used to respect the elders and they still do in different parts of the Middle East? They respect their older people, but they're beginning to copy off of the West and stick their elderly people in old folks' homes. See you later, alligator. I want to see you. Talk to you. Give me a call. Bye. You will be questioned. The older you become as a mu'min, the more beautiful your character should be. You got this? This is sweet, man. I can taste this one. It's sweet. And the world has it backwards. So could it be, brother, individual brother, could it be that we are not changing fast enough? Could it be that you're not growing fast enough? Or you like your pace so much you're comfortable where you are? I like being where I am. Well, did you learn anything else in Islam today? Or yesterday or last week? No, I meant to open up the Quran, but it may be that Satan has you hooked and you realize it not. And he's pulling on that reel and he's pulling you away from the deen, so that eventually you will become completely unconscious of thinking or dhikring to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It could be. It could be. So I'm asking myself now, is it possible that we are not changing for the better fast enough based upon all of this knowledge that we have in the Quran, 114 surah? Could it be that we're not changing fast enough, learning fast enough, and giving the knowledge fast enough so that the next generation can come up crisp and sharp with this deen, affecting their environments in a way where, like the Rasulullah sallallahu and the Sahaba used to do, they would go in an environment and change the whole thing. Because they saw the Sahabas respect, not worship, respect for Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They saw it. So what I'm saying is, last week I mentioned that Allah said that He will produce a new people. And I'm seeing this with my own eyes right now. I have to tell you, I'm witnessing this right now. I am witnessing Allah replacing some people with other people, not fearing the criticism of the criticizers. And what do they say? Go hard or go home. Be real with yourself or just be a fake. Just admit it. I'm a fake Muslim. I'm fake. Just admit it. I'm artificial flower. I don't have no smell. You can't smell me. I look like a Muslim. And I'm going to say this and I'm going to stop. For all of us, Allah loves all of us. But He wants all of us to take a good look at ourselves without denying the fact that we could be better. Don't deny that you could do better. Be better as a believer in this religion. Because you know what? You can put this Quran up to any religious lifestyle. Any religious. Take the Quran and put it there. Take the Muslim, set him there. Stand him up. Take her, stand her up, stand him up. To any religious organization or institution. And you will see that they will shine like the stars. That's who you are. You are stars as human beings in this world. ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له له الملك وله الحمد وهو على كل شيء قدير. آمين. إقامة الصلاة.